In this video, I'll go over this weekend's best bets for UFC Baku. This is the Shadowbox final where I give you all of my plays for the UFC card for the weekend for free, every single card. Now, also we have these plays over on our website, northcoastmedia58.com. All these plays and our previous plays, so if you want to go over there and check out how we did and what we have to offer. Let's get started right away on this week. 100 down, our premium play. We're going with Manuel Torres this week. Now, if you were with us earlier in the week, if you follow us on our social medias, you got this play at even money plus 100. I think the books opened up with a little bit of home cooking. You know what I mean? Rafael Fiziev opened at minus 128 or thereabouts, but we've seen this movie before. All right. Brendan Moreno walking in to Mexico City. We've got Ming Yang Zhang walking into the arena in China. We've got Rafael Fiziev, native Azerbaijan, and he's probably going to suffer a similar fate. Now, I think one of the reasons this fight opened up the way it did is because both of these men have recently fought Ignacio Bahamondes. MMA math will tell us that since Rafael Fiziev beat Bahamondes, that he's going to win, right? Manuel Torres suffered his first and only loss by knockout to Ignacio Bahamondes. So that means Rafael Fiziev is going to win. Lee Corso would tell you. You know exactly what Lee Corso would tell you, my friend. There's more to this matchup than meets the eye. Bahamondes is one of the longest punchers in the division, and he's a counter puncher. He waited out Torres' punches. He got Torres impatient. Younger fighter. I mean, not younger than him, but younger as in he's not, 38 years old. Like Neo in the Matrix. The punches were just going by Bahamondes. And in leading with his left, he would come in and hit him with that left hook, that short left lead hook. A lot of counter punches. When Fiziev fought Bahamondes, he didn't give him that opportunity. He stayed in his face. He kept the pressure on within striking range. But he didn't strike. He didn't offer him anything. He tried to counter Bahamondes. Eventually, Bahamondes got frustrated, and he was the one being countered. Okay? Torres is going to bring forward pressure, and the difference in their games, the difference in the style, the pressure boxing from Torres is going to make all the difference in the world in how these matchups present themselves. We're going with Torres for 100 down. We put 2 units on it. Torres is the anchor of our plays this week. That's not the last time you're going to see him. Next, we're going to move on to the straight plays. Our first one of those I'll tell you about is Daniil Donchenko. I believe this line we got, this was for is steel. It's minus 150. He got a little bloodied in his first match in the UFC. He was supposed to be a heavy favorite. Trust me, he came back and got the win. He will do fine here. I've got Daniil Donchenko by knockout minus 150 on DK. We put 0.75 units on that. Now that is a direct method. All right, direct method. It's not plus money, clear indicator on what the books think will happen. Also, Almabayev is our next play. He is a decision merchant, and he's got one of his toughest matchups that he's going to face in Charles Energy Johnson. Listen, we bet both of these guys on the channel like almost every single time they're out. They're both fighting each other. I don't know who to bet. I gotta bet somebody. Listen, this matchup drives me nuts. I love these guys. Two of my favorites. Both of these guys have been 100 down premium plays on a straight bet by themselves before. Both of them have been in my parlays. Also, Almabayev was probably Hall of Fame on the channel last year. He won us more money than anybody else. And it all started in Baku. We were turning Baku. Baku isn't it isn't where I started, but it was the first time that the Shadowbox final really like popped. I don't know if you don't follow me on Instagram. We put out a whole anywhere else it would be a PDF. We do it on Instagram because of the music, because we can add music to it. It makes it like a soundtrack. But if I took it away from there, or if you get Warlord, okay, the Shadowbox final is part of Warlord as a PDF. It's just pictures, it's just text, you know. We jazz up our plays. We don't just give them to you on a sheet, but all it is our plays. Different images. But that's the Shadowbox final, and it all started really with how much it's expanding in Baku. And fantastic. I can't wait to be there. It's at 9 in the morning. You know, we're not going to work. We are going to be right there in front of that. It's going to be excellent. Our next play that we have in Matsumoto. Now, we got him for minus 172. This one a little bit late on. It was minus 155. Then when I got it, it went up to minus 172. And it dropped back down to 162. The last I seen it, it went to 155. So it's fluctuating all over the place. We put a full unit. I believe that this is... I don't want to say steal. The number is right, okay? The number is right. But I don't think these two are going to be that close. If you look at Matsumoto's, his engagement here, he just lost his last one out. It was a split decision he lost in February, okay? To Farid Basharat, all right? That was the first loss. I mean, not his first loss, but Miles John, okay? He beat Miles John. Lost to Rob Font in a split decision. Rob Font touched him up dirty on that fight. You watched that fight. Rob Font went directly from a light finger touch into a two-piece into Matsumoto's grill. And the second one snapped Matsumoto's head, and he did not flinch. He grappled a lot. He wrestled, but he got takedowns, and he lost a split decision there. Questionable split decision for Rob Font. If they would have gave that to Matsumoto, I would not have been surprised. And I think I was on Rob Font that night. So that tells you, you know, all you need to know there is part of a theory that I've been watching actually since Baku, last time they were there. And I'm going to dive all into that theory tonight on the Midnight Shadow. Watch the Midnight Shadow. That's all I'm going to say about that. Watch the Midnight Shadow. The next play up on the board, our theory play, it's Farman Hassanov versus Eric Nolan. Farman Hassanov is making his UFC debut. He is a native of Azerbaijan. He fights out of Azerbaijan, even though for the last 3 months he's been training here in America with America Top Team. Just the fact that he's over here training with America Top Team lets you know that this is serious business for him, and that he's a serious fighter, and that they take him seriously. However, Eric Nolan at plus 148. Eric Nolan just had his first match in the UFC not that long ago, and he fought Basinger Susakov. Now, I remember that week that Basinger was a heavy favorite. I think almost minus 900. Everybody's pick was Basinger because you couldn't get any juice. You know, you squeezed the life out of that one with a minus 900. Everybody's on Basinger to get the first round finish. You know, he could sub you or he can knock you out. Susakov is a killer, right? Susakov likes to play with his food. He comes out the first round with a smile all the time, all right? Until somebody starts pacing him up. Then he gets pissed. He didn't look as great as he was supposed to, you know. The guy has total arrogance, and in the way of the Conor McGregors, you know what I mean? Like, he is that good a fighter, I think, personally. But somebody's going to crack the kid one day. I believe it. And it wasn't Eric Nolan in his debut. Fine. Eric Nolan bloodied Basinger Susikov. Eric Nolan slightly embarrassed Basinger Susikov, which resulted in a brutal second round submission finish, rear naked choke. I believe that's why we're getting such a good number on Basinger Susikov. Listen, Farman Hasanov could become a great fighter. I don't think he's a bad fighter. Reviewing his tape, I would say he doesn't belong in the UFC. And further to that point, my theory tonight that I'm going to go over, he would probably be the fighter from Azerbaijan, because it's all about regional fighters. He would be the fighter from Azerbaijan that fits my theory the least, okay? Which is why you sort of see him favored, in this matchup. Eric Nolan plus 148, we got a half a unit on that. Now, let's move on to our made men section. First up, we got the Castle Parlay. Simple unit stacker. We got Abdul-Rakhman Yakhyaev, Daniil Donchenko, Nursulton Ruziboev, all on the money line. Donchenko and Yakhyaev are very wide lines. Nursulton Ruziboev, his line is not as wide, but I almost have more confidence in him, even though he might not be as good a fighter as Yakhyaev. He might not be as big a prospect as Donchenko, and he's definitely from this side of the world. Kazakhstan, I think, not exactly Azerbaijan itself. Nursulton Ruziboev is fighting Andrei Pulayev. Nursulton Ruziboev is fighting Russian Andrei Pulayev. The last time we saw Andrei Pulayev, he was making a track commercial against our boy Atiba Gautier. Andrei Pulayev bailed out the back door of every single meaningful exchange. This was another fight where half the planet was on Atiba Gautier to win the fight by KO. And Andrei Pulayev looked like he had bet on himself just to last to the end. If I'm pretty sure, he lost one of those rounds, 30-26. He did nothing the entire fight. He did not strike. He did not attempt to strike. He did not wrestle. He might have attempted a takedown or two. And I remember him working a good jab. I remember Atiba getting a little frustrated. Well, he was getting frustrated because he couldn't get his hands on the guy. And I remember him though, attacking with a stiff jab. I want to say he bloodied Atiba's nose. I got to watch that back again. But all I know is that I was disgusted watching this fight. I'm like, how is this dude even in the UFC if he won't even trade? 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. Point lost for just not even competing. Can't see him winning this fight. I can't put my money on him in any situation. Andrei Pulayev, 10-4 in MMA as a pro. I don't even understand how. They must have been bringing him cans over there in the regional scene in Russia. Whatever. We're fading him. Castle Parlay on DK, plus 104, 1.5 units. Next up is the North Coast House Special. This one is a 4-leg. We like it a lot. Yakhyaev versus Walker. Will the fight go the distance? We're saying no on this one. Asu Almabayev versus Charles Johnson. Will the fight go the distance? We're saying yes, it will on this one. Nazim Sadikov on the money line. Shara Bullet Magomedov on the money line. Those four together, plus 205. We're going to stack this week. We have a good feeling about this card. We have a good feeling about these bets. There's one more straight play that I came to late, and that was Manuel Torres by KO at plus 145 on FD. FD is still one of the only books that have him as the underdog still. So if you want to get Manuel Torres, you can still get him at dog money. but not plus money. They have Rafael Fiziev at minus 114. They got Manuel Torres at minus 106. So, yeah, it's a lot down from, minus 128 plus 100. There's a big difference. And when I first seen this, I swear Manuel Torres was closer to plus 108, plus 114, plus 124 on the different books that I frequent. And he has come down on every single thing. Like I said, I've seen him at 106, minus 108. I've seen him at minus 120 on the score. Minus 120 on the score. We got him for plus 100. Follow North Coast everywhere you can. Follow Shadowbox. Be there when we drop the plays early. That way you can get in on these numbers, All right? The Midnight Shadow will be out tonight. We're going to go over the pass list. That will be the fights that we didn't bet on in any capacity. Why we left them alone. Why maybe you should have left them alone. We'll see. I'll go over my Shadows Ego Entry Challenge. I'll just give you the names. The entry window closes at 11:59 p.m. Get your entries in. Go over to the website. Submit us a screenshot of your 7-leg money line parlay. $5 you put on it. Any book. Show us your screenshot. Make sure you cover up your vital information, please. Follow the directions on the website to submit your shot. And any entries that we have in before we go on for the Midnight Shadow, we will read off those entries, those submissions on the air. Give anybody who entered a shout out. If you have an MMA, if you do this, if you're a creator, we will shout out your channel, your camp, your X profile, whatever you want. Let me know. Holla at your boy. This has been Shadowbox Final. I'll see you in a few hours for the Midnight Shadow. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. All the real savages know what to do. Peace.